The African food market is a vibrant and rapidly evolving space, with entrepreneurs and small business owners playing a crucial role in shaping the continent's culinary landscape. From traditional street foods to modern twists on classic dishes, the diversity and richness of African cuisine is inspiring a new generation of food lovers. For many, starting a side hustle in the food industry has been a pathway to success, and one such entrepreneur is a great example. Now a former opera singer who traded her microphone for a mixing bowl, she turned her love of food into a thriving business that now employs over 100 people. Now to tell us more on her story is Kathleen Quillinan, founder and creative director at Pesto Princess. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Africa Side Hustle. And now just to delve into the conversation, can you take us back to the moment when you decided to pivot from pursuing a career in opera singing to building Pesto Princess, and what were some of the key factors that influenced your decision, and how did your background in the music prepare you for the challenges and opportunities that come with entrepreneurship in the food industry?
To be honest, it was something that happened pretty gradually. It wasn't something that was an overnight decision at all. And I have to take you back to the year 2000 when, and a little bit before even, there wasn't internet. There were not even cell phones. We are talking about a long time ago. And I ended a period of working at a local South African university, and I had the desire to go back to the place I had studied at the University of Cape Town. And of course, ending the work ended the income, and I needed to create some sort of a side hustle to pay for this new adventure of mine. And I started cooking up things because alongside music, food has always been a passion, but like a hobby. And I cooked up cakes and jams and preserves and things in bottles. And among those things in bottles was pesto sauce, fresh pesto. And yes, the cakes were great and the jams were bought. But the thing that people remarked on, raved about, and came back for over and over again was the pesto sauce.
And also, can you share some of the specific trends that you're observing in the African food market, particularly in terms of consumer preferences, purchasing habits, and also product demand?
Definitely a move towards clean label, healthy products that are almost like home cooking. Those are the trends I notice, and those are the trends that have inspired me and that I resonate with. Almost creating products that I would love to buy. And the motivator for many people in buying food products is they simply don't have the time to think about what's for dinner, to shop for what's for dinner, and then to cook it up at the same time. People are so, what they call, time poor these days, and yet at the same time are more aware of what they're putting into their bodies than ever before.
And I'm sure you've leveraged various digital platforms to reach new customers and build your brand. Can you share some specific ways in which social media and digital marketing have contributed to your business success? And how do you think food entrepreneurs can effectively use these platforms to build a loyal customer base, showcase, and also in terms of showcasing their product and stay ahead of competition in the crowded markets?
In the very beginning of this business, I used to show up behind the trestle table and do the marketing face to face with my prospective customer. And that's what I felt comfortable doing. And at a certain point, I would say 10 years ago, we took the decision to move the trestle table online. And we embraced a Facebook account, an Instagram account. We now have a YouTube account and a TikTok account even. And for a person, of my age, I think that's pretty good going. And we have leveraged those platforms with enormous success, but using the learnings that we got from showing up in person. So building authentic relationships, speaking in our own authentic voice, and just extending the love that we have for all people, and particularly our own customers.
Are there any specific funding opportunities, mentorship programs, and also resources that are available to food entrepreneurs in Africa, or rather South Africa, and how can they access to scale their businesses and overcome a common challenge?
We have pretty much bootstrapped Pesto Princess, using whatever assets we had to raise money from the bank in a pretty traditional funding method. But at a certain point, we had funding from the Craft and Design Institute that operates here in the Western Cape and across South Africa. And they had an initiative called the Jobs Fund. And because Pesto is quite a labor-intensive business, we generated a lot of jobs and became eligible for support from the Jobs Fund.
And I believe you've also had to navigate the competitive landscape of both local and international food brands. So what importance do you place rather on supporting local brands in the food market, and how do you think they can effectively compete with international brands while they're still maintaining their unique identity and flavor?
You mentioned something that's very close to our hearts, and that is when a customer reaches for a product made by a small supplier, you really, really contribute to the economy of your country.
Yeah.
So not only are we a small supplier and supported wonderfully by the South African shopper, but we too make our purchase decisions from other small businesses, because the impact on the economy is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and just for one also who wants to start off this kind of business, how much can one start this business with?
I used my home as the manufacturing premises for 5 years, keeping the overheads really, really low. And I had minimal staff and even some family members that used to help. So more than thinking that you need to have a sum of money to start something, I think it's good to ask yourself, what do I have that I can use and that I can leverage? And I think you would be amazed at what it is you do have at your fingertips.
Social responsibility in terms of the growth of the business is very important, especially from sourcing ingredients to reducing waste and minimizing environmental impact. So how do you balance the need for business growth with the desire to prioritize social and environmental responsibility? And what specific initiatives or practices have you implemented to ensure that your business is having rather a positive impact on the community?
It was about year 17 of Pesto Princess, now in its 25th year, that we asked ourselves an important question as a team. We knew that we had the support of many South Africans who could afford our clean label products, but we were keenly aware of the many, many South Africans that are food insecure that could not, and asked ourselves, what are we doing and what could we do to reach out and support those people? I encourage any business to consider at some point whether you can turn your business into a force for good.
And that was Kathleen Quillinan, founder and creative director at Pesto Princess. Now, as we conclude today's episode, remember that Africa's entrepreneurial spirit is unstoppable. Turn your passions into profits and join the movement. Share your hustle story with us on social media using hashtag #AfricaSideHustle. And don't forget to subscribe for more entrepreneurial stories, business news and insights on CNBCAfrica.com. Till next week.